Here we are again, Beck, at you know what I like to do. I like to cook. Can you tell? I'm stretching it. Really, I lost 125 pounds since this time last year. So I'm doing real good. But I still got a little pouch on me. 50 more pounds and I should be feeling better. Thank God. But right now, I'm hungry. And I don't have to starve myself. Just eat moderately. And if you have to cheat, don't cheat big and fat. Cheat just a little teeny bit. Better not to cheat at all. Sometimes you know how it is. Oh, my goodness. I just hope I never do that when it comes to sin. Because you can't even do a little bit of that. That will lead you into deeper stuff. So you can't do that. You gotta refrain from trying to commit sin somehow, knowingly or unknowingly. Sometimes I unknowingly commit sin and catch myself. I'm going, oh my God, what am I doing? And then you gotta snap out of it. He says, yeah, that's human. That's humanity. Snap out of it and continue. Don't sin. God's Spirit is in you. He'll remain in you when you don't sin. He'll stand off. If you sin, He'll forgive you. But His favor is less. He loves you still. His favor is less if you're committing mortal sin and you know you are. So, straighten up. You can do it. God knows you can do it. He'll give you until you're just a little old man in the bed somewhere saying, I never gave God 2 cents. Why would this priest come into my room and offer the sacraments of reconciliation and Holy Communion so I can enter the gates of heaven when I never gave God 2 cents my whole life? Who is that from? It's from one of your relatives that loves you, and God promised that He would save their whole family. Divine mercy. Impossible things are done with divine mercy. And that's what we need is divine mercy, God. And this divine merciful forgiveness. Because forgiveness is God's power. He can summons 10 million legions of angels with just His command. And they all got great, big, huge swords that are made of fire. Lightning fire. You want to mess with something like that? When you leave this world, you don't have any bombs or nuclear weapons or M16s. You just got you. Who's going to talk against God when He's the king? And now it's judgment. What will He favor of you? Will He see your forgiveness? Will He see your gratitude? Will He see your repentance? Will He doesn't shun a man of iniquity. If they mercifully ask with their heart, ask God to be forgiven, He will forgive you. But the stain remains. And nothing can enter the kingdom of God with a stain. So we have suffering this life or the next. If we are wealthy and healthy and everything this life, and you think you're going to step right into the kingdom of God, you've got another thought coming. Because I don't ever hurt anybody that was without stain of sin except for the Blessed Mother, St. Joseph, the Holy Family. I mean, you got to be closely related to get into heaven without the stain of sin in your soul. And we are children of God. He watched us grow from little pollywogs going up a stream looking for a nest. And hopefully they don't chop your legs or your head off before you get out of the nest. How many saints have been crucified in the womb? Something to think about, as God does. He knows everybody's life and everything that they're going to do in life. And he's watching us murder his children. And God will not be mocked. His word is his word. And he punishes a nation that goes against his laws with war. Look down through the ages. All the people who made love with their faces were conquered and their heads chopped off. You want to be caught? Repent. God will forgive you. You can love with your brother. You can hug him. You can live with him. You can be nice, kind to each other. Because that's the way it is in heaven. But you cannot stick your tongue down his throat and call that holy love. That's lust. And God looks at it that way. But he will forgive. And he won't forget. If you do, forgive, forget, get away from it all. Come to God. He'll heal you. Listen to his song. We just made a song, Divine Mercy song, pleading humanity, pleading for the divine mercy of Almighty God. I believe that God, when I prayed before the song, I asked him, God, you take over. Show me what to do. Show me how to do this. I don't know. I'm just an amateur. Well, I finished it. It's out there. I didn't finish it like a professional. I could take my RC500 into a professional and have them dub it and make it so it sounds like when it was recorded, because right now the phone takes a lot away from it. If you had the earphones on and you heard the song when God inspired me to sing it, some of the words I've never sung before. They just came to my mind and I sang them. And I'm not erasing anything that the Holy Spirit, I believe, is allowing me to say something. You judge for yourself. I'm ambient. I'm out there. My music, I'm not what you're used to. I'm an ambient musician. My song is out there, reaching for God, asking him to please bless humanity with his divine mercy. We just had Divine Mercy Sunday. Join the Marian Helpers. There's direct connection right there. I'm advertising the Men of the Sacred Heart for a program in your home. The Rosary program, and Enthronement of the Blessed Mother, and everything. Oh, it's full of it. All you got to do is call them up or Google them or something. Ask for their package. They'll send the whole thing to you. That's what I do. I have the rosary on all day long, in and out. I have it in Latin and in English. I only know the Blessed Mother's in Latin, though, but that's, I just started this not too long ago. Actually, I didn't start it until I joined the Marians. And then I really got into everything, you know? So there's a blessing that comes along with joining the Marians. It doesn't cost you a cent. They'll send you little brochures, you know, if you can afford it. They're not asking for anything, but it's their people who are in charge of promoting them and trying to raise money so they can go where they got to go and do what they got to do. And so they have I would guess they have a company that is really good at it. So probably once a month you'll get a statement from a Marians, and there'll be an envelope in there. You can get what you want if you can afford it. And they're not asking something, just skip the month, go on. They're not going to say curse you or anything. They're going to be praying for you. See the benefits. Just call them up and ask them to send you the benefits of being a Marian helper. That Father Chris Allar, and somebody's now is replacing him, but he was in here for 4 or some years, 4 or so many years, and he went through living hell to be a priest. And in fact, he just pulled him out of a bed. He was 99% blocked in his heart. And God saved him. Now he's good at it too. I listen to him a lot. He makes sense. And he makes sense because he was a wrestler. I was a boxer. He was a wrestler. You know, and I can remember all the times I got ripped off. I should have won the fight, and they gave it to the other guy, because hometown or whatever. I don't care. I wasn't going to be a fighter anyway, so I just did it to get through college, keep myself healthy and rugged and rough. And if I got something, I can get in there and dig at the heavy bag or something. Bang, 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 bang. That's the way I am. Children, kids are like that too, especially young men, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right around there. They want to get there and hit that heavy bag hard. And now they're trying to make laws that 2 homosexuals can take and come to an orphanage and spot somebody and adopt you. Bring you home. Let you be exposed to it. Not, they probably would be questioning them if they were ever confronted or corrupted. You know, I'm sure that the child is followed up on when you adopt it, especially if you're 2 guys adopting somebody. But it's not right. You can't do that unless you're living a celibate life, and they know it. The children know that you're living a celibate life, that he's loved, he's your best friend, but you're not sleeping in each other's bed. The child, I could see consideration. But if you're there and you're going to just continue doing what you're doing in front of that little child, you better run, because there is a millstone with a rope tied to it. And it's going to be tied around your neck. And what's going to happen? The angels will take and toss it over the side of the boat with you tied to the other end. If you take and corrupt one of God's little children, don't murder them. Oh, that's sure death, unless you plead and beg God's forgiveness. You murder his little babies, you're deep, deep, deep. And I don't know how much deeper you can get if you do things like that. You gotta have empathy. You gotta have forgiveness. You got to look at what a narcissist is. Everybody's a narcissist, but to different degrees. I'm a narcissist. I look at the narcissist. I see things that I do that are narcissistic, but I see things that I've conquered that I'm not narcissistic about anymore, that God has delivered me from. So take a look at the list. Look up narcissism and see what a narcissist is. There's different levels. There's psychopathic and there's sociopathic. And they got some other titles in there. Father Nix, N-I-X, on YouTube. He gives you 10 good reasons why to run from a narcissist. And I'm not laughing at that. But I'm laughing at there's reasons why you don't want to be a narcissist. And if you don't know them, you should look and see if you're one or not. Analyze yourself. See what you can improve to not be a narcissist. Father Nix, N-I-X, on YouTube. Look them up. Well, we're gonna get to. I got a little dish here. Let me see if I can get this over here and focus in on it a little bit better. There we go. Okay, right here we have. My wife cooked up a bunch of vegetables last night, and today's Friday. I almost had a big roast beef dinner. I had it out. I was going to take and put it in the microwave, and I remember it was Friday. I don't have to observe it because I'm 73. They say 65 and over, you don't have to observe those. But I heard Mother Angelica. She says, "Oh well, I'm 80 and I'm still observing it. So what can you say? I'm 73. I try to observe it. Sometimes I catch myself with a great big hamburger in my mouth because I'm an egoistic hedonist. I want my hamburger right now, so I go to the burger place and give me my hamburger. And, oh, well, we don't have them on. Well, it's 10 o'clock at night. We don't have them on right now. You'll have to wait. What? I gotta wait for my hamburger? I'm an egoistic hedonist in the short run now. I want my hamburger. I want it right now. I'm a pleasure seeker. Short-term pleasure seeker. I want it now. So, a long-term hedonist, he'll say, okay, I'll pull over and wait. The other one will get ticked off, go across the street, ask, your burger's made? I want one. That's the difference between egoistic hedonists in the short run and the long run. How's that for a lesson? That's worth some money right there. I gave you some of my education. I took you back to seminary, as Father Chris would say. I'm going to take you back to seminary. I'm going to give you a little bit of seminary. I asked him, I wrote him, I said, Father, if I go to all your tapes on seminary, can I be ordained? Can I be ordained after I watch all your tapes? So, it was a joke. But anyways, we get back to the food here. My mushrooms. I like mushrooms. They are good. I just hope I never find out how bad they are for you. But everybody tells me they're good for you. You should eat a lot of them. And they're not that expensive, really. I got this whole thing here of mushrooms. Right? The whole thing for $3.99. Come on. Come on. You gotta like mushrooms, but if you ever went hunting for them and you looked at that for $3.99, you're laughing. You're laughing. You know what you did just to get a bucket of that big and little mushrooms that you picked all over the woods that you spent half a day looking for. And then they got them in the portobellos too in the supermarket. And people don't like them. A lot of people don't. I don't like mushrooms. They're a fungus that grows in the woods. I don't like fungus. Well, tell that to the squirrels, because if you can get there before they do, you got yourself a treat you can chop up with your eggs in the morning. And that's what I'm going to do. I've got, this is all ready. This is ready already. This is ready to go right here. What I did, I procrastinated on my mushrooms. I talked instead of cut. So, what am I going to do? Well, I got to, first, oh, I wish I would have took off this shirt is too heavy for me. Well, anyways, I already cooked mushrooms. Everybody saw me cook mushrooms last time. I put, I put, I covered the bottom of everything. I covered the bottom with, I like those little diced onions bits, like that. I cover the bottom. And then I go and I get my garlic. And I put my garlic in there. I like garlic. I put quite a bit in there. Okay. And then I know I got chips of onions in here, but I'm gonna flavor it with onion powder. This is all dry right now. And then I'm gonna go over here, and you're supposed to drink 4 ounces of this a day. We're H2O beings. We are humanity, and we run on H2O. And H2O, I don't know, that and oil go together pretty good. They can make an engine on H2O. They tried to. I told you a story about it. I'm not going to go into that. But so I'm going to put in the olive oil just so it covers everything. Okay? All right, there it goes. It covered everything. Now, a lot of guys, they tell me, I don't like to drink olive oil or just drink it the way it is. I just, well, put it in garlic and onion and fry it up with your eggs and the juice that's left over. Let it cool down and then drink it. You'll see a difference. And you'll say, I'm doing that every time. Okay. All right, so now I've got to get, I got to go hunt down. My wife has a paring knife somewhere around here. I got to hunt it down. Hold on. I gotta put it back because she uses this quite a bit. Now I can rinse these off. I'll rinse them off, but they're clean. I've looked at them. They look like they've been scrubbed. Oh, I hate that. You dump one out. Now you can wash it. Now I won't put them in with this here because I'm hoping that she'll eat this because it's her vegetables and just some shrimp in it. But if I put mushrooms in it, she won't eat it. She doesn't like mushrooms. I mean, she'll eat some, but she doesn't think that. She's like those people who go, you eating fungus out of the wood? I don't know. I like them chunky. Look at this. I'm cutting big chunks. And these got to be. They keep pretty good. I've had these for over a week. Look at them. If you buy them in big bunches like this, right? Cover the bottom of the pan. I don't know. I think I got a half a dozen in here now. All right. Half a dozen portobellos coming right up. Oh, I know what I gotta have too. and this is the reason why I can't cook it with my wife's food. Because there's gotta be a chunk of butter. I can't help it. And I would say, with as much as I'm going to be cooking here, it needs to be about 3/4 of a stick, too. And that's just what I got. Kaplunk. Now, this would start melting. I put it on fire, because this is done. Right now, okay, we got that. I got room for more mushies. You need some mushies on there, because they shrink up too. So, oh man, I want to eat these raw. They look so good. All right, here, another big one here. Okay, I even cut the ends off. They're clean. That's one of the good things about it. I mean, you go to a store and they got dirty mushrooms, you're not going to sell them. So what they're doing, I guess, is making sure they're clean. When people look at them, they go, oh, hey, I don't have to scrub them and stuff. They look like they already been scrubbed. So that's what I do, at least. So I have that, and I have it on low, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Turn it up. And, yeah, I know the next time I'm going to be using these, I'll have to be, when I go to the store again, because I'm going to buy more. So I'm going to say, well, there's no mushrooms. And I got, last time I went, I think I got, I just got a couple packs. That's all. Because I had 4 packs the last time. And man, I was making everything. Oh, where's the mushrooms? Okay, now, there you go. Now, you know I got the base garlic, like that, right? So I'm going to go back over a little bit with the top and get all these mushrooms that don't have garlic on them. And there is garlic powder. That was garlic, kind of like salt stuff. This is garlic powder. Oh, I like how this makes a kitchen smell, don't you? Oh man, it doesn't get better than that. And I got some more onion. Oh. Onion powder. This is fresher here. Onion powder. You can't put too much of this in there once it cooks down. Then you cover it. I mean, you could put too much in, I guess. It'd be hard if you weren't trying. Now, the only thing that I don't have in there yet is I'm going to cut up onion. Onion. I used to know this guy when I was a kid. He was a big guy, too. He was Italiano. His name was Onion. Because he was a baseball player, and baseball reminded everybody he used to throw throw a baseball the size of an onion, you know? So he used to throw a baseball as the size of an onion. And this guy was super. He could have been professional. If he had the right people, he would have been one of the most exciting pitchers in the 60s and 70s. He would have been, this guy was just as good as Whitey Ford, really. I'm actually telling you how old I am when I say Whitey Ford. Probably nobody around that's alive that knows who Whitey Ford was, because Whitey Ford was the pitcher for the Yankees when my father was into being a fan of the Yankees. And I just remember Whitey Ford and Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. Boy, if you got them When you collected bubble gum, you got one of those? Oh man, everybody and their brother wanted it. Everybody's trying to make you play cards with them, see if they can win it off you. Boy, there's some. Oh, there's a connivers. Little kids conniving each other out of their baseball cards. Can you imagine that? I had a kid. He's dead now. He was my neighbor. He lived down underneath me. We rented. My father knew his father, and we rented the upstairs apartment. And he and his sister lived in the downstairs apartment, which was my father's best good friend from the bar, you know. So that's how I got to know him. This kid downstairs with all the baseball cards. He had a, you know how big a trunk is, right? Like 2.5 by 4 or something like that. He had, with all the old cards, baseball cards now, every card on the market, every card that was ever done. And he liked me. And I used to play cards with him all the time, try to win his cards, but he was too good. That's how he got all the cards too. This guy was pretty good at flipping the cards. You stick a card up in the corner, and then you try to knock it down by flicking it with another card. And all them cards that you use to try to knock that card down with, they go to the guy who can knock down the card. Okay. So that's how the games work. Okay, this is cool. Boy, I'm not going to do this again because you're over the fire to do this. Dummy. I like them because they'll break up. I put them in chunky. After they cook, they'll break up. Now see, my wife won't eat this because her diet is working for her, which is a blessing. She came back from the doctors with good reports saying that everything's down. And she said something about her triglycerides are down. I'm not a severe diabetic. I do have high sugars, and I do sometimes I take medication that they give me, if my sugar's up and stuff, I can do that. But I haven't done that yet. They gave it to me, and then I said, I don't know, I don't want to start on, what is it, metformin or something like that? What am I calling it? I said, I don't want to start on something, get all that stuff in my system. I don't want to do it unless I'm really bad. I don't want to take stuff unless I'm bad. And I found out after I lost 125 pounds on liquid marijuana. Can you believe that? I went and got a license from the state, and I got in their program, and I took that for 1 year, approximately. 2 mils a day, somewhere around there. 2 eyedroppers a day, maybe 3 eyedroppers a day of the liquid marijuana. And I was hungry, because you're on marijuana, you get hungry. But when I got the food in front of me, I took a couple bites and I wasn't hungry anymore for some reason. I don't know, it did something to me. Liquid marijuana just made me hungrier in the home. You know how people are when they're on marijuana, they want to eat the house out. They want to eat out of the house and home. That's why the old man kicks you out. If you're bad, get out of the house, you eat too much. Especially if he's only making $60 a week. That's my dad. My dad, he was funny. My mother would corral him, on the weekend, have him come home and get the paycheck, and then she had to go out and get $60. Have to go out and get food for 5 kids. Well, now that sounds like it's quite a bit. stretching it. But back then, 60 bucks, I mean, a loaf of bread was 29 cents, 19 cents. I remember I used to go to the store and get one. 18 cents. I see 17 cents a loaf. Maids. Swanson's or whatever it was. They made them by, truckloads they made them. Boy, did they sell. Everybody bought it. And they're like 17 cents a loaf. Oh, come on. That's the way it used to be. But not anymore. I can't buy a loaf of bread for less than $4. $4. 17 cents a loaf. And, to have a halfway decent loaf of bread is $4. Check it out. You know that. Everybody doesn't agree with me. Shake your head. Agree with me. Okay, now this here is dinner. And what time is it? It's 2:30. Now, what is nice about this right here is that on Friday, you got the base, right? And all you have to do is come in and add 4 eggs or 6 eggs. Make a nice omelet out of it. Then cut it in half. You get half, and my wife gets half. She can eat that. She can stomach that. There's no seasoning in this. It's all what she made it from last night, so she can't say, well, I can't eat that. Well, maybe she can't eat shrimp. I don't know. Yeah, take the shrimp. Oh! Well, no. She got these vegetables because she had shrimp, something at some restaurant. All she ate was the shrimp. And then she brought the vegetables home. I think these are the vegetables. Yesterday or the day before. So, maybe she can eat a little of them. She wouldn't have ordered it if she could eat some. I don't think. But anyways, this is sitting and waiting for half a dozen eggs. Now I gotta look and see how many eggs are in there and make sure there's a couple for her because she wants to make her own eggs somehow. But when I cook this down, I'll add this, half of this to this, and then I'll make my egg mixed in with a little bit of the feta cheese and Italiano, I know feta cheese. Is that French? Is feta cheese French? I don't know. It's good. Anyways, here, and I'm gonna try. I had a piece of it. Goat cheese. You ever eat goat cheese? Do you think goats? They make things you can eat. Billy goats. Hey, come on over here, you little billy goat. I'm gonna fence my yard and I'm gonna have a goat, so I don't have to mow anymore. I'm gonna call him Billy Goat. I gotta get my wife's approval. We're gonna get a goat, honey. Yeah, she's gonna say, and who's gonna take care of it? Well, I guess it's gonna have to be me. I'm gonna have to have a friend. I had dogs when I was younger, my 20s, but I never, everybody I come across, they had their dogs and they took them hunting and stuff, and pigs got them and killed them, and God, they were depressed until they got a puppy or something to bring that one up or something to make another dog that they can go hunting with. And pigs killed this guy's dogs. He had a couple of dogs down. I was building a house down in Florida when I was going to college, and this guy used to hang out because he knew the boss, and he'd come and visit him because the boss was building a house for his brother, and we were building a big house. We had to bring the trusses. We had to bring a crane in to put the trusses on. They were 42 feet long. Oh man! And it was a ranch, a 42-foot ranch. And I was building it with this other guy. I framed it all up and everything. And then when it come to do the finished work, I wasn't worth anything because I wasn't a finished carpenter. I was just a framer. I didn't become a finished carpenter until I got into my 30s, and I got my own wood shop, and I got into things. Now I'm doing all the windows in my house out of oak. They're pine now, a pine that you bought in the store, and you bought the trim and all that, and cut it up, put it all together. Now I've got oak, red oak. You know where I got it from? My fence out in back. I put one up 40 years ago. I put red oak fence up, 6-foot boards, 7-foot boards, right around there, from Double Lot Lumber up in Endicott. My backyard neighbor knew him, and he said he knew how to get it. He said, I'll pay for it. So he ordered it, came, I paid for it, put it up 40 years ago. But now that red oak has, wherever the nails were in it, 2 nails at the top, 2 nails at the bottom, that area decayed. But you can fill that in. They got stuff now that you can just scrape it out and gouge it out with a wire brush or something and make it look halfway decent, and then fill it with your putty. Let it dry, put it through the planer. Doesn't get better than that, because you use the other flip side anyways. I use the flip side for what I do it for. Boy, you plane that old oak down, 40 years old, you can't buy it any place. Those boards got to be worth 50, 60 bucks a board to a person who's making things in a wood shop, because that's how beautiful this wood is when you plane it down and put your oils and put your whatever stains, or use everything. I got a couple I did out there. I did one and it got ruined, but I'm going to do some more. I'd show you it right now, but put it out there and something fell on it, and the decoupage stuff wasn't dry yet, and it just it was beautiful too. I had a beautiful plaque I made. All the wood was stained just right, and I had a beautiful picture of Christ on there. It was a beautiful picture, Christ, and something fell on it while it was drying out in the back porch. And I haven't. There is a way that you can grind it down and smooth it out, because I put it on there pretty thick, so I might be able to repair it. But I tried to, and I went right through the first one. I went right through, and I hit the board underneath there, and I can't do it that way. So sanding, that is. You gotta, when you do this stuff, I watched them on TV how they sand windows in old cars. It takes them 2 hours to sand the windows in an old car when it has those marks on it from the windshield wipers and stuff. They got to get it down to nice clear glass again. It takes them 2 hours with all kinds of buffing tools. And then the guy that does it professionally. He says, this is the only way you can do it, besides buy another window, stick another window in there. And I don't know how much they cost. I don't know what he gets for 2 hours of work, because you have to put pressure down on this tool that you're using to sand and everything. So I watched that. I'm going to do that someday. Someday. Okay, how are we doing over here? Oh yeah, she's cooking down nice. Look at that, huh? And I finally found out why my wife bought a plastic knife. I could never figure out, why was she buying plastic? It's for these things, these pots and pans right here. Because I'm not a cooker. I just learn about this stuff. But when you go like this with a regular, if I had a regular knife, and I go like this, I'd be putting gouges. And then they come out, the gouges show up when you're washing the dishes. So what's that speck? There's a little gouge that you made by using a steel fork or something, you know, to mix your stuff up with. So now I know why she bought one of these. They're plastic, and they don't cut. You can cut with them and everything. You know, not as easy cutting as it is with a knife, but they cut. Let them cook more. Yeah, I got this here. Oh, this is going to be good. I can see it already. If my bag holds out. I get ready to mushroom, put them back in there. I got some feta. I got some goat. A goat. Hey, Italiano, you gonna use goat cheese? Yeah, I got my goat on the farm. Yeah, he likes to eat everything in sight. Boy, but he makes some cheese. When he cuts the cheese, everybody comes instead of runs. Oh, all right. Okay. Now I've just about sweated myself out of this shirt. I should have put it on as an insulated shirt. I put it on this morning. I got up. It was cold, chilly, so I slept on the couch. I slept halfway decent. I'm taking that CBD oil now, and they have three different types of CBD, CB something, CB whatever, CBC or CBA or what. Well, they have different the derivatives intinction or intinct. I don't know what they call it. It's I'm not into it. I just discovered it and I'm just starting it. So I'm using it for my voice. Really, I put it on the back of my throat because I've been having problems swallowing and stuff, and I put it in the back of my throat and stuff, and I gargle with it a little bit. You don't want to be around me when I'm doing that, so I don't do it when anybody's around. But I just gargle a little bit, and then I let it slide down and lay in there and soak up. And I don't know, my voice got better. It's up to you to think of that. I mean, listen to me on the tape. That's all me. I'm doing everything on that tape. I'm playing the guitar. I'm singing. I'm playing the leads. I'm playing the harmonica, and I'm going to be playing the tambourine. It's a bongo, pongo, or tambourine. In other words, when you play it like a set of bongos, you can play it like a set of bongos. So that's why I'm going to keep beat with this song, and I don't keep beat all the way through a song. I don't think. Just little parts. I'm going to get into it, like when it's a little. We're doing a little. We're digging it, you know. We're in there and we're cooking with it. I'm going to take and use the bongos a little bit. The tambourine type thing. I'll use a little bit of that. But here we are. Whoa, man. Now, I'm going to have to cut this. This is it. This is what it is. All I have to do is add egg. You guys saw my other films. I added the egg and how I cut it up and how I made 4 pieces and I eat them throughout the day. And boy, what a treat that is. Instead of not eating the whole thing right there, I split it up during the day, and when I get hungry, I come in here, I got a little treat, stick it in the micro for 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and it's just like you just cooked it. So that's how I do it. I'm hoping that this is good enough. I'm not really binging and getting into all kinds of stuff that make you fat. If there are things that make you fat, I just have a taste. A couple bites, that's it. Stick it aside. I don't shove it in my face and big gulps of it or anything. I have a couple pieces of chocolate once in a while. I have a lot of dried fruits that I eat too. So, be strong. You gotta be strong. You gotta feed the body. The body is a machine. H2O machine. I mean, look at them. They have an engine that runs on H2O, but the oil people have shut them down. We won't get into that. I got movies on that in the past too. So, anyways, I'm gonna call it quits and watch my movie I just made, a video I just made on the song. It's called Humanity's Cry for Divine Mercy. And it's ambient. It's out there. It's out there. You'll see. Because I asked the Holy Spirit to come in and guide me and show me what. I'm an amateur. I don't know anything that's cool. So you judge for yourself. Listen to it. Give it a chance. Find some breeze to sit in outside and turn your phone on or something. It's not as high quality because I haven't got the RC 500 geared yet to get into computers. There is a program I can do that, and you'll get the true sound. Right here, you're getting a muffled kind of like sound than what it really is. You ought to hear this when it's fresh, when it's crisp, and you got the headphones on. Everything's, you can feel it. You can feel the song. That's what how neat it is, man. So, bon appetit.